Hey, and welcome to another video. I was looking online and people have been like, why haven't Honda been making the fun cars they used to be making? Has Honda stopped making sports cars altogether and just stuck with the SUV safe platform? And there's no real simple answer to this question because there's many different variables that actually have been happening over the last couple of years. Because let's face it, it doesn't hurt a manufacturer to make a safe vehicle that they know will actually sell. And to have reasonable pricing for their newer vehicles as well, because, well, they do have a safety standard that they need to meet. But not only that, they have to meet regulation standards as well, so it also brings the cost up of manufacturing and trying to stay within all the regulations of different countries as well. But in saying that, Honda really only has 3 SUVs. You've got the Honda you just saw before that was the new Honda ZR-V, and now showing you the new HR-V, but I'm actually a really big fan of the design of this car. I think it's futuristic, but it's also very minimalistic in its styling. It's not trying to show off, it's not trying to be a sports SUV. This is like the type of car that hot mom would drive to pick up her kids from school. She wanted something that was reasonably priced, something she knew was reliable, that was nice, and could just fit the stuff that she needed to fit in the back. If anything, I do see this being like a 2-kid mum car. But that's the thing, I do like that, and I know I'm getting old because I'm saying I like it. I feel like this is a good vehicle. It's got the latest tech, and it's hybrid, so you can still stay hip and cool with all the other young mums that are driving EV vehicles. But not only does this have all the new safety features and everything like that, if you need a bigger vehicle, Honda also has the CR-V. What I think is that perfect SUV that you're like, oh, I have 2 kids, but they're sporty and they're active. This isn't really an off-road vehicle, but you're not really an off-road family, so perfect for inner city driving. And there you have reason 1 why the modern sports car has died. Because let's face it, most people can't buy a fun sports car anymore. They need to buy something that's actually more practical. Because let's face it, the modern person that's into vehicles now is more likely to buy a sports SUV that has more horsepower, but also can fit the family within it. It's sadly one of the reasons why 2-door vehicles have been slowly disappearing off car lots. It's because people don't like the inconvenience of not having 4 doors, especially if they have kids, and also most 2-door vehicles now have back seats that no human being can actually sit in. But having the unlivable back seats is so that you can actually have better insurance rates, because apparently having back seats or having any back seats at all actually keeps your insurance premium down. Now it's the harsh reality fact, and that fact is car guys are really cheap. What is the most crazy fact to say, considering that this hobby is one of the most expensive hobbies to have in the world? But statistics don't lie. Car guys are statistically more likely to try and get a bargain on a used car than they will be to buy a new car. Even crazier fact is, most people that are selling their sports cars is so that they can buy a family car, or they trade in their sports cars to buy SUVs and other family vehicles. The other thing that's killed it is it's $55,000 for a new goddamn Honda Civic. They don't even have an RS version anymore. They don't even have the race spec version of this vehicle anymore. Yes, that is rumored to be coming out as a later date with a new hybrid system Type R as well. This is literally just now a more expensive Honda Accord, because let's face it, they've lost their hot hatch feeling. I think that's why I'll never trade in my 2016 Honda Civic RS. I think I got the last year where it was an actual fun hot hatch. It's a vehicle that you drove on the mountains for fun. It was slow, but you could drive it fast. You could get into trouble, but it wouldn't get you in too much trouble that you couldn't get yourself out of it. Now I feel like this is more of a vehicle where it's just like, okay, here are all the safety standards. I think it's more of a, this is a modern car. This is what a modern hot hatch will feel like in the future. I think they've turned away from where this used to be a K car or a kit car, and you used to just be able to take it apart and work on it yourself. But also, I think there's a lot of new vehicles that are like that as well. There's not that you can work on this vehicle yourself feeling in this car. Don't get me wrong, it's still a beautiful looking car. I like that Honda's gone back to this sleek look. It's more of a modern car that's just trying to hide that it's not trying to be something it's not. Because I feel like with the 2016 model, they really did try and go hot boy racer vehicle, and that kind of hurt the brand a little bit. Because I feel like people have always fallen in love with Hondas with the less is more, because it's a sleeper build sometimes. other than when there's a kid sitting in there with a laptop. This isn't the car you get because you want to show off. This is the car you get because you know it's reliable. Because that's where the Honda Accord comes in. There are people out there that will tell you that this is Honda's sports car, or it's one of their sports cars. It's a hidden gem, and I have to agree with them. These are hidden gems. These are cars that are so sleek and beautiful, and they're just so much fun to drive. The luxury cars, but sometimes without the luxury prices. But I think this one comes in a little bit higher than, well, it should. And this is another factor, because let's face it, like I said, we car guys are cheap. But $64,000 for a Honda Accord is really asking a lot. Yes, I get that the car's really good, got all the safety features. This is the RS model, so it's meant to be a little bit more pricey. It has really good technology. Apparently they drive absolutely amazing, but it's still an Accord. It's still a Honda. And that's the thing that people can't get out of their heads, because they're like, well, I can buy a BMW for this price. And it's not even the base model BMW either. But the crazy thing about Honda Accords is they have their crazy fan base. It's like the Lexus market as well. They have people that would die on a hill saying that a Honda Accord is the best car to buy. They're like, they're sleeper builds, they're awesome, they're faster than what they actually say they are, they're comfy to drive. And I actually have to agree with them there, because I had a Honda Accord Euro as my first car, and I absolutely love that thing. But again, us car guys are cheap. Also, you can't buy a brand new car and not have these safety features, because the average consumer is going to be like, well, what has the best safety features for me and my family? The great thing is Honda still has that racing pedigree, and they still do build one of the best sports cars out there, and that is the Type R. But it's $70,000. But it looks so good. It has back seats you can sit in, so you can actually have a family. It has a boot that has space, so you can actually put things in it if you do activities. It's $70,000. But I don't care. I love this vehicle. I love the look of this vehicle. I want this vehicle. But sadly, I cannot afford this vehicle, so I will not have this vehicle. But maybe on the used market, I could get this vehicle when it's cheaper, because I am a car guy, and most car guys do not buy brand new vehicles. And well, that's where the problem starts, is because we aren't buying these cars new. It's not because sometimes we can afford them or sometimes we can't. It's because sometimes you have to put your family first, and you need to get yourself an SUV other than a fun sports car. It's because economically, millennials are driving up the price of vehicles so high that it gives younger generations zero chance just to get into the hobby itself. Because even now, most people can barely afford just to live. Only other factors like government cracking down on people having fun with their vehicles, people just not finding cars fun as they're used to. Mainstream media actually butchering people that love cars by having people that are just assholes buy sports cars and crash them and look like absolute fuckheads. I think that's what really happened is with the social media fix on everyone buying really cool high-end Ferraris, Lamborghinis, and Porsches. It's just kind of crushed the soul of people that were just into vehicles to be into vehicles. Because I think we're finally flipping that page where car people are going to go back to being a niche thing, where it's going to be you're either a mechanic or an engineer, and it's going to be something you get to do again for fun. Because let's face it, it's always nice to have a hobby, even though being in the car enthusiast department is one of the most expensive hobbies you get to have. People are saying that the modern sports car is dead, but to them I say the old school sports cars will never die, because as long as we keep them alive, they'll never be leaving our sights and they'll never be leaving our sides. The modern sports car will never probably be what we want it to be, but at the end of the days, we'll always have the old school sports cars that we know and love. So the only thing we need to do as car enthusiasts is to keep those cars alive. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you could leave a like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be awesome. Thank you guys so much, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.